All right, let's jump right into this explainer. If you're learning English, you've definitely got the basics down. But today we're giving your vocabulary a much-needed wardrobe makeover. We're going to swap out some of those basic words for incredibly descriptive, natural ways to talk about your energy levels so you literally never feel stuck in a conversation again.
Picture this for a second. You've had a ridiculously long, difficult day at work or school. A friend asks how you're doing, and you want to tell them all about it, but your brain just completely freezes, right? You feel all this exhaustion inside, but you've only got two little words to share. You just stare at them, say, "I'm tired," and, well, the conversation just kind of stops dead in its tracks.
And that brilliantly highlights our core problem here. Saying "I'm tired" is perfectly correct English. Absolutely. But if you use the exact same words all the time, it's basically like wearing the exact same shirt every single day. It gets incredibly boring. Plus, it really doesn't capture how you're actually feeling in that specific moment.
So here's what we're looking at today. First, we'll tackle the boring shirt problem. Then, craving sleep and rest. Third is total physical exhaustion. Fourth, empty tanks and mental drain. And finally, smoothing out your English.
All right, part 1. The boring shirt problem, breaking the habit.
Think about the number 2. When you rely entirely on just those two basic words, "I'm" and "tired," you totally miss out on communicating the massive difference between how your body feels at 11 p.m. watching TV versus how it feels after running a literal marathon. I mean, those are two completely different types of exhaustion, right? We need specific words to describe them. Moving right along to section 2, craving sleep and rest, the late night fade.
So, our very first expression is "I'm sleepy." It's this really soft, simple phrase that you use when you're ready to go to sleep right this second. You just want your warm bed. You definitely wouldn't use this after doing, say, 3 hours of chores in the morning. Sure, you have low energy then, but you don't actually need to sleep. "I'm sleepy" is absolutely perfect for when you're yawning on the couch at midnight watching a movie and you can feel your eyes just slowly starting to close.
But what if you're actively fighting that sleep? That's when you'd use our next phrase. "I can barely keep my eyes open." It's for when your eyelids feel super heavy. It's almost like one of those movie scenes where someone is nodding off and falling asleep right at their desk. This is just so much more descriptive than simply saying you're sleepy. It paints this really vivid, real-life picture for your family when you finally drag yourself off the sofa to head to your room.
Let's do a quick comparison. Think about a basic learner sentence, like, "I want to go to sleep right now because I am tired." Okay, now let's instantly transform that into fluent American English. "I'm heading to bed. I can barely keep my eyes open." Do you hear the difference? It sounds so much more native, so much more natural, and it really paints a picture.
Let's hit section 3, total physical exhaustion, when the day defeats you.
This brings us to a super common word native speakers use all the time: exhausted. When you say "I'm exhausted," you are telling someone flat out that your physical energy is 100% gone. It is perfect for the end of a really hard, stressful 8 or 9-hour workday. Letting someone know you're completely exhausted sounds mature, it sounds natural, and it instantly tells a friend that you have literally zero energy left to go out for dinner, which totally avoids any awkward misunderstandings.
Now, if you want something a bit shorter, check this one out. "I'm beat." It's a really casual American phrase that essentially means the day defeated you, but, in a friendly way. The crucial thing to remember here is that you use this short, casual phrase with close friends and family after doing something physical. Think about walking in the park all afternoon, or maybe spending your entire morning cleaning out the garage. You walk in, plop down on a chair, and just go, "Phew, I'm beat."
Listen to how this upgrades a sentence. Instead of the basic, "I can't go to the gym tonight because I worked all day and I am very tired," try swapping it for, "I can't go to the gym tonight, I'm totally beat from work." It makes the sentence significantly faster, way more relaxed, and natively fluent. "I'm totally beat from work" is just short, sweet, and incredibly American.
Our last physical one is pretty strong, dead tired. Now don't worry, it's not scary at all. In informal English, the word dead right here simply means very, very. But because it uses such strong emphasis and is highly informal, there's a strict rule you gotta follow. You only use this after a long, hard week with friends or family. Actually, let me emphasize that. Never, ever use this in a formal meeting with your boss.
Okay, section 4, empty tanks and mental drain, brain sadness.
I want you to keep this really powerful visual in your mind. A dying phone battery, hanging on at just 1%. Keep that image in your head as we look at our next phrase for mental fatigue, because it perfectly captures exactly how this specific type of tiredness feels.
When you've got that heavy mental tiredness, you say, I'm drained. It's exactly like water slowly draining out of a bathtub, or, like we just said, that phone battery hitting 1%. This phrase is precisely what you'd say to a coworker after sitting through a grueling 3-hour meeting, or maybe after finishing a really intense English grammar test. It clearly signals that it's your mind, not your legs, that desperately needs a break.
Once again, upgrading your phrasing makes a massive difference here. Instead of a clumsy basic phrase like, my head is tired, upgrading to, I am completely drained sounds professional and it's perfectly clear. It instantly explains your mental state without confusing anyone.
Now let's explore 2 more incredible visual metaphors that native speakers use all the time for total depletion. Imagine a table being wiped completely clean and a flashing red gas light on a car dashboard.
These give us 2 fantastic phrases. First, you're wiped out when your energy is just completely washed away, like finally arriving at a hotel after a 12-hour flight across the ocean. Your energy has been wiped entirely off the table. On the flip side, you are running on empty when you still have to cook dinner and help the kids with their homework even though you have 0 energy left. Just like a car with a flashing gas light, you are completely out of fuel, but somehow you're still moving forward out of sheer dedication.
Finally, Section 5. Smoothing out your English. Putting it all together.
So here are 4 essential pocket words I want you to take away from this explainer today. Keep these right in your vocabulary pocket. Exhausted for 0 physical energy, beat for casual physical tiredness, drained for your mental or emotional battery, and wiped out for energy that's been washed away by a long journey. Honestly, just having these 4 words alone will allow you to clearly express almost any type of fatigue you run into.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Which of these expressions are you going to try using first this week? Are you going to be drained after a long study session, beat after cleaning the house, or maybe running on empty at the end of a chaotic day? Pick just one, try it out, and watch how it instantly upgrades your conversation. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep practicing.